got enough slack on that. So the intensive care will look after the sickest children in the region, not just in the hospital, not just in the local area, but in the entire region. You can easily get affected by how unwell the children around you are, how fragile they are sometimes, and you know, there are occasions when it's life-death decisions being made, their life is in the balance. But you have to develop a bit of detachment sometimes to be able to cope with it all. Otherwise it would be an incredibly difficult job to do, and it's not a difficult job, it's a wonderful job to do.
I'm on the retrieval team today. We've got 2 teams every day. Okay, we basically retrieve children from district general hospitals all around the area from the south of England, Kent, Surrey and Sussex basically, because not every hospital has a paediatric intensive care. So this is our baby pack. You've got to make sure that it's all functioning well, because the last thing you want is for this not to be working when you're next to a patient. I'll go and deliver this to Ben. When are you going?
11.
Well, this one's free for you to use whenever you need it.
So Zachary is 3 months old, and he was born with a complex congenital heart condition, and he has just had surgery a few days ago. Sometimes when these children have heart surgery, they come back on a ventilator because they aren't quite ready to breathe for themselves, or their lungs may not be strong enough. His lungs look a little bit clearer. I'll hang about up there. Keeps it working, actually.
Can you imagine waking up with this tube in your mouth, not knowing where you are or what's happening? It's just really frightening, and that is really like the story of nightmares. So it's really, really important to give them play, to make them feel secure, comforted, to help them recover.
Over time, what we do is try and reduce the support that that ventilator gives to a point where we can take them off that machine, and that's a process called extubation, where we take that breathing tube out of their mouth.
When all this is going on, parents almost feel like they've been hit by a bus and they can't explain how they feel. And I introduce the diary so the parents can write down what happens on a daily basis.
It's good to have this so that we know when he gets older he'll be able to look back on it and know how we were feeling at the time that he was going through it. So this was 2 days after the operation, and also people have been sending through text messages.
When they first come here, they're just staring at the machines all the time, you know, and they won't go for breaks. And we say, now come on, you know, everything's going to be fine. Let's try and do something.
We think she's got cardiac failure. We spend most of our time being human, you know, having human relationships with people, helping, looking after the most precious child of a family. And I think that's a huge privilege.
Originally, they thought there was an infection. Once she gets over this chest infection, the plan is then to fix that pipe, and hopefully everything should get better after that. Yeah. Well, make sure you get some rest as well, because she's resting, she's sleeping, but it's very important that you get some rest too.
So Sophie joined us in December, shortly after she was born. She was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. So one side of her heart hadn't formed properly. Yeah. She doesn't need any help with the breathing anymore. We're just giving her some support with some medication to still support the heart.
You see, she is better, so we are better as well.
Yeah. It's called intensive care, so you're supposed to work intensively. You can change 100% mortality to, you know, 4% or less mortality. Children are getting better and going to the wards.
So she's Zachary's twin sister.
What we often have is families will send us pictures of the children when they've gone home, and actually there'll be Zachary and his sister in a month's time, you know, lying together and playing together, and you know, that's what we all aim for.
They look too gorgeous together.
Is that your brother? Hello, Zachary.
It's amazing. I mean, yeah, it sounds like he's doing really well.
I love the fact that we can help whole families, not just children. I love the fact that children are so resilient that most of them will get better. No matter how small the difference we make in their lives, it's important. It's such a satisfying speciality to work in. It's such a satisfying field to work in. It's so exciting, so interesting that I couldn't work in any other job.
It's 8 a.m. A motorcyclist has been knocked off his bike in traffic. He's rushed into the accident and emergency unit at Royal Stoke University Hospital.